Why are you so high? I'm sick. I feel like this might be the first episode I've ever done in my dressing gown, but that could also be a lie. So don't quote me on that one. Today I'm telling you how to get over being sick. Do I have COVID? Maybe. Do I care? Absolutely not. Because I feel like we all got really super worried about COVID, which was kind of fair enough. And then I don't know if anybody cares anymore. Do they? I feel like in hospital we don't care that much. Well, obviously we care, but we're not as worried, okay? And that's a great place to be. Today I'm going to be answering the question, is sticking tampons up your nose the correct way to manage a runny nose? The answer is always yes. Should you stick a tampon in an unknown orifice? Correct. Yes. This is terrible advice, Dawn. What are you doing? I'm being a little bit loco today. I'm fucking loco. Do you know why? Because I did a 9 to 5. Who the fuck does that? Not me. If you know me or follow my stuff, I am a doctor and I work shifts, baby. Yeah, shifts. I do the shifts. That means gal be getting up at 2 p.m. and gal be working till midnight, right? So for me to work 9 to 5, what is happening? We're just having some technical issues right now. I need you to work. Technical issues resolved. My laptop was about to die and the charger just wasn't working. So, I'm sorry, that's been a little bit of a crazy introduction to the episode. I've had a few weeks off, haven't I? What's going on? I've had a few weeks off. I feel like I've reset my life. I went on hollybobs. Even though I didn't leave the country, people are like, Dawn, people that I met there were like, you're going on holiday to Scotland. You didn't even leave the country. I was like, mate, I left the country. Okay, I flew here, so it feels like I'm in the Bahamas. And I also left the country, technically. I went from England to Scotland. So fuck you, bitches, okay? By the way, comment down below if this is not the first episode that I've been in my dressing gown in, because I'd quite like to know. And it could also be a lie. I'm literally wearing a bra underneath, and that's it. Yeah, so there we go. Anyway, I thought I'd do a little epi boy. I need to stop doing that because people are like, I was at work the other day and I was like, oh, we got a little sicky boy, right? Something like that. And then people actually thought I was talking about a boy and it was like an old woman. And I was like, no, like a little sicky boy, you know? Little sicky boy, but not a boy. Anyway, I thought, loads of people are fucking sick at them, okay? It's hitting winter. The rounds of RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, what a beautiful name. And I might have said that wrong. Syncytial, I think that's how you say it. And rhinovirus. I always said hashtag rhinovirus then. Stop it. Stop, Dawn. And I think I've got rhinovirus. COVID, oh boy, he's making his rounds again. Fuck COVID-19. It's COVID 2023. Wait, no. COVID 23, okay? I might have COVID. I literally don't know. I have not tested myself. YOLO. Right? No, I'm joking. But we don't have those home tests anymore, and I don't know how you test. Like, I actually don't. My hair smells really nice. So I thought everyone's sick, and why not do an episode on how to be the best fucking sick person, the sickest sick person in the world. So today I'm showing you how to be the best sick person, and I know really fucking well because I am currently the best sick person. I'm the sickest sick person. Look at me. I'm so sick and I'm unwell. Sick and unwell as in sick like, yeah, I'm sick, bro. Okay, stop that, Dawn. I'm going to tell you quickly, little story time, okay? Because I love a good story. Storytelling is my fave. I've got way too much energy because I'm really hungry and I don't know where this has all come from, to be quite frank. So the sickest I've ever been was, and I'm going to do another episode on this separately, I have been reluctant to, but I feel like it's coming. It's coming to fruition. I am coming to peace with it. I struggled with, I don't want to call it an eating disorder. I'm going to call it disordered eating. I was never diagnosed, okay? Whatever. So I struggled with eating, and I am going to do in the near future, I think. It's this touchy subject, isn't it? Right? I think I'm going to do an episode on that. Because I feel like it's an important, I overcame it. So it's a difficult thing to overcome. Anyway, I had disordered eating patterns as a teenager, and I was never like hospitalized or anything, but I did get really unwell. At one point my periods stopped, and at one point I got really sick, and not sick like to go to hospital, but basically I got a kind of like a chest infection, which most fit and well, young, no comorbidities, 17-year-olds shouldn't get, right? So I suffered for ages, like way too fucking long. I think it was like 2 weeks, right? I thought it will go away tomorrow. And it didn't. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I honestly looked horrendous. I looked like my eyes were stuck together. Every time I coughed, it felt like someone was setting my chest on fire, like I was coughing up flames, like I was a dragon or something. And it was like snot pouring everywhere. It was really awful. I went to the GP after like 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. They did my observations. I think they were fine. I don't remember. But anyway, I think they were fine. And he listened to my chest, and I don't know how, because I still don't know how I would diagnose this, right, over everything else. He diagnosed me with tracheitis, bacterial tracheitis. I don't know how, because I've never diagnosed anybody with that in my life, but it made fucking sense, okay? It was horrible. It was so painful. Anyway, that's the sickest I've ever been in terms of, not like mentally sick. That's a whole nother story, okay? We've been there. We've done, the worst year of my life, if you want to go listen to that. I just love telling people about my tragedies. No, sharing is caring. Or is it caring is sharing? Wait, no. Sharing is caring. And I was bad at sharing as a younger person. And I think that was my downfall, essentially. So, we're oversharing. That's what's happening. We're oversharing. We're in our underwear and we're oversharing. Story of my life. Okay, so that's the sickest I've ever been. I went on something called clarithromycin. My boyfriend's always like, Dawn, how do you remember all of these crazy words? And I'm like, I literally say them every day. Like, that is a word that I would regularly say. Not every day. Like, there are variations of that word, like erythromycin, clarithromycin, and that's kind of it. Azithromycin, but they're all the same kind of drug, and it's not unheard of that I would say that on a day. So yeah, I know loads of fucking weird words. It's like I know another language, medicalese, I think it's called, medical language. Anyway, so that's kind of cool. Is it? So anyway, I went on clarithromycin, fucking sorted me right out. Honestly, it was like, oh, insert angel voices. I actually can do a really good opera voice. So, okay, there we go. That looks really good on the waveform. Just saying. Happy to do concerts if you'd like. £1,000 a minute. So that is the sickest I've ever been, and I went on clarithromycin, sorted me out, angel voices, and I was healed. Now, during that time, because of my disordered eating problem, I was exercising quite a lot, and I was really, I really wanted to exercise, but I was so unwell, so unwell that I couldn't exercise. I was like, that was the only reason I went to the doctor, which is, speaking of itself, that's the reason I went to the doctor, was so that I could go back to exercising. I know it's bad, okay? I should have been like, yeah, I want to get well. No, I wanted to exercise. So that's that. That's another story, all right? But I just want to say that's the sickest I've ever been. Right now, I have had COVID. Whoop, whoop. I think only once. Plot twist. I work in a hospital. I know. I literally saw somebody the other day with COVID. I know. She came in and she was like, she had this infection elsewhere and she was worried, and then I was like, probably got COVID. You can have something else going on and COVID. You've literally got what sounds like COVID. And we tested her and she was positive. So I was like, I'm a fucking legend. There we go. Give me a Nobel Peace Prize and let's be done with it. So anyway, I have only statistically had COVID once, and that wasn't fun. Like, it wasn't awful. It's not the sickest I've ever been, as I said, but like, it wasn't great at the same time. I felt really feverish. I think that's probably one of the only times I've ever had a fever. Anyway, this I don't think is COVID. I've got a runny nose. I'm like, that. So I don't feel that unwell, but I do feel a little bit like a bit under the weather. I mean, I'm well enough to podcast, so things must be going okay in my world. So I'm well enough to podcast. There we go. I did go on a flight. I went away. I drank some booze, and that always fucks me up, Drinking even once and just like going and doing loads of, I just walked around forever, and probably being on a plane with like and like recycled air and shit, probably got me sick, but that's fine because I am a fit and well human being, so I'm A-okay. So I feel like going back to my sickest episode I've ever had, my first tip is just don't exercise, right? Exercising, whilst very good for you in the long term, is not good for you whilst you're sick. Even like a run, I would say. Just gentle walking, if that. Maybe even climbing the stairs is too much. So just be nice to yourself. You might think, oh, I really want to go and exercise. I want to go and like stretch my legs and like run around and shit. No, it will. Every time I've done that, it's just made me worse, right? Because your body's already using loads of energy to try and fight the infection. And then you just go, woo, let's go and go cray and go for a run or go lift some weights or something like that. And the thing is, exercising actually temporarily lowers your immune system. So then you're just giving yourself a little double whammy. Cortisol, which is released when you exercise, also lowers your immune system. So not good. So don't exercise. So my gym membership has been thoroughly unused. Not only because I went away, great, but also because I'm now sick. So they're probably like, you're a lazy bitch, but we don't care because we're taking your money. And that's fine by us, less people, but more money. So another thing is, I should probably drink something. Stay hydrated. There are several reasons why that is the case. Number one, because if you have a fever, you may well sweat a bit and lose fluids when you may not realise. Number two, you're also blowing your nose a lot, right? That's got fluid in it. Goodbye. Number three, it also just helps your body. I don't know, like, there are so many ways it helps your body, but also it loosens your mucus, right? The more hydrated you are, the more thin your mucus is, right? You can hear mine's really thick at the moment. Lovely. What a horrible fucking sentence. My mucus is so thick at the moment. That's why they say, inhale steam and it'll loosen your thick mucus. But you can also do that by drinking. Wow. Stay warm. I'm currently in my sleeping bag. Wait, I'm always in my sleeping bag. But there's a fucking helicopter outside and I'm not vibing that whatsoever. I'm always like, go and save lives somewhere else. This girl's got a podcast and she does not need... Oh, it's like suddenly gone. I think they heard me. They must be tuned in to my podcast right now. Guys, can I just ask, show of hands, who thinks I should do a live podcast? I think that's just called a live stream, but also it's just going to be me talking about stuff. But also I don't know, like, I'm scared. I have never done one before, and I'm sorry. And firstly, I'll burp on camera, which is fine, it's fine. But what is wrong with me today? I'm in a weird mood. That is what I'm talking about. It took me so long to get into my sleeping bag that I forgot what I was talking about. Like, I completely forgot. Wow. I wish I remembered, but I genuinely don't. God, I hate myself. I hate my brain. Why are you so forgetful? Be nice to yourself when you're sick, unlike me. Oh, okay, stay warm. Your body's trying to fight off an infection. It doesn't matter if it's little, doesn't matter if it's big. Well, it does. But it doesn't matter how big it is. You still need to stay warm. unless you're I was going to make a really fucking niche joke. I was going to be like, unless you've got a traumatic brain injury and you're in a coma, and then sometimes we like to make you colder. But I don't know if that's the case anymore. But anyway, that's the end of that. Oh God, I really wish I remembered what I was saying. I feel like resting when you're sick is like inevitable. I feel invariably more tired. I don't know if that's the right sentence right there. I feel more tired all the time. Like, I can sleep for longer, I sleep better. But the other day last night even, I really struggled to sleep for 2 reasons. Number 1, I had a blocked nose and I was like, and I was like, my mouth is so dry. I'm going to tell you how to heal that in a minute. Number 2, okay, this is a bit of a weird one. Oh, I remember what I was talking about now. Live podcasts. Okay. Let me just write that down. There we go. Now I won't forget. Number 2, I don't know if I want to go into this one, but I will anyway, because why not? So, number 2, I woke up with this really odd rectal sensation. Nothing was going on in there, but it felt like there was something going on in there. And that's not me saying I've got worms, right? Because worms, okay, this is really gross, but worms become more active at night, so you get really itchy bum specifically at night. That's really gross. But anyway, that doesn't happen to me often. It was actually more painful. It wasn't itchy, it was painful, right? So I had a painful bum. So anyway, I went and put a suppository in. Suppositories heal all. They have like an anesthetic in them. So I was like, but the thing is, I woke up this morning and I was like, did that happen? I couldn't remember if I dreamt that I had a painful bum and I put a suppository in, or whether it actually happened. That's a strange place to be. I don't know how you get from point A to point B. I was in such a sleepy fugue that I honestly didn't know. So the only way you can tell is the next bowel movement you have has a white residue. And I can confirm my next bowel movement had a white residue. So turns out it wasn't a dream. Dreams do come true. Oh my God, I thought my lamp was somebody in here then, because I can't actually see this way. That was really scary. Oh, okay. Let's go back to talking about live podcasts quickly, because I know you didn't come here for that. Should I do a live podcast? Yes, I might burp on camera. But also I feel like people could write horrible stuff and I would be like, okay. So I've got to like react to it live, which is fine because I'm used to like people abusing me in real life. So that sounded really dark. But what I meant was like, patients shouting at me or being horrible, calling me fat or whatever. So that has happened. Dementia patients, you know them. So, it's not like I can't handle it. But it's, do I want to publicly humiliate myself on the internet? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And if you want, I'll do it. And I'll post when I'm going to do it. And then we can have fun together. Oh my God, we can interact. It'll be so much fun. Okay. Hello? I'm podcasting. What? No, I'm podcasting right now. In a minute. Oh, tip number however many. You should have tissues at hand, because I just wiped my nose with my finger and wait there, do I have a tissue in my do? There you go. Have tissues to hand. I'm gonna have to wash my hands now. I get that. Alright, I get it. Because that was a bit gross. But I don't really recommend that you put tampons up there. To be quite honest, I don't actually think it's any good. They're good for if you have a bleeding nose, but if you have a runny nose, not really that good. You've already got a blocked nose and you're blocking it with something else. Right. So I've had the most aerated nose of the... That is a claim, okay? I'm telling you, I felt like my nose was 2 corridors. Like I was just... Not now, though. It's worn off, okay? So what I did, and I don't recommend this long term because you can actually get, weirdly, rebound congestion from nasal sprays. I can't remember what's in it, but it's a decongestant nasal spray. I actually used Ultravine. Other brands are available. I'm not specifically saying that one, but this is the sinus one, and it's not a steroid one. It's a decongestant one, and I don't know... I don't know if it's going to be good for you. I don't know if it's good really if you have a cold, but I use it anyway because cold is the worst. Like the nose, not being able to breathe is the worst. Like anyone can tell you that. Amoebas can tell you that. And I also read that okay, I don't know what happened there. Easy to digest foods such as like soups or broths or like fruits, vegetables are very good for you. I like eating warm shit, not warm shit, like warm stuff, because it warms you up inside. And everyone always gets unwell during winter, so it's like cold already. You don't want to be eating like gazpacho, cold soup. So I think warm food is honestly the bomb. Like, I was eating salads for a while, and then I just can't eat cold food now. It makes me cold. I'm like, no, I don't want to be cold. I want to feel like a toasty cinnamon bun, like I'm feeling right now. What I've realized is that I love being homeostatic. I love being warm. I love being not hungry. And I love being not thirsty, and I love having slept the right amount. Like, keep me in equilibrium, and I'm like the happiest person in the world. And I feel like that's most people, but also, I don't know. Do some people like being full, maybe? Or do some people like being hungry? Or, I don't know. Maybe that's just the whole, like, everyone. Maybe everyone likes to be how I like to be. Plot twist. So, nose spray, healer. Honestly, a fucking healer. Like, look it up beforehand, but healer. I don't like taking oral decongestants. Do you know why? Because they are stimulating, and I don't want to be stimulated. I don't need any more of that. Thank you. Thank you very much. They give me a fast heart rate, and they make me feel on edge, and they make me shake. Baby, get shaky all the time. So I do have Lemsip, which does have a decongestant in it called phenylephrine or something like that. Phenyl something beginning with E. And it's not enough to make me shaky. You can still go to sleep with it. I really thought it was going to keep me awake, but it didn't. And I just like the act of drinking a hot lemony drink. Like, there is no reason that you need to have Lemsip. It's got a bit of a decongestant in it, and it's got paracetamol. You can have those separately, but it is nice to like have a drink. Do you know what I mean? Like a warm drink, and you're like holding it, and you're cold, and then you're warm, and it's lemony, and it's kind of like nice. It's just wholesome and warm in your body, and that's all you need when you're sick. You just need wholesome, warm shit. I feel like I'm losing energy really quickly. I went from like, wow, what's going on? How many decongestants has Dawn had? To how many sleeping pills has she had instead? Throat spray. I actually started having this when I had a weird under tongue ulceration. Who knows what happened? Nobody does, because I went to see the doctor, and I don't see the doctor often. But it went on for so long, and I was like, this is so fucking painful. It was honestly so swollen and so sore. It felt like someone had put stinging nettles under my fucking tongue. I was like, get out. And when he was swabbing it, I was like, and it was so gross as well, because it looked like oh my god, this is so gross. But it looked like I had an extra tongue under my tongue, and I could with it. Mentally, I could not cope with it. It really fucked up my head. Anyway, so I put that under, because it had local anaesthetic in it. And if you have like sore throat, burns, dangerous to start with. It does burn, but no pain, no gain, right? So it's got an antiseptic in it. Spray. It sizzles for a bit, and then it goes, and you're like, I am feeling the benefit right now. So I kind of like it. You know, I like a little bit of burning every so often. Not in my wee though, but anywhere else, go for it. That is, guys, I think that's it. That's how I'm going to go and watch some Netflix right now. Do you know what? I might watch Friends. I've been listening to Matthew Perry's book because he recently died, and I was really sad about that. And I kind of wanted to know what happened to him, because everyone was like, oh, he had loads of drug and alcohol problems. And I was like, did he? Like, I knew that he had drug problems, but not really. Like, I didn't really know. So I'm now listening, and it was on Spotify. So I'm now listening to his book that he's narrated, and maybe I'll go watch some Friends. But maybe I'll be sad watching Chandler. Anyway, I also think there's also some advice of, like, isolating yourself. I mean, we've only really got that from COVID, specifically in the UK. I mean, there are other diseases that go around, like Ebola. Don't get near that. And other diseases. I don't know, bird flu. But, like, before that, I think we were all just like, YOLO, whatever. I was talking to my colleague today and she was like, we both said our threshold for calling in sick was a lot higher before COVID, and then when COVID happened, obviously like everyone was like, I've got a sniffly nose, I might have COVID. And then after COVID, now I think people are more worried about passing even like a cold on to people, and also like just they're like, I'm sick, like I don't want to go in and have to look after other sick people, like no. So I think the threshold for people calling in sick is definitely like way lower now. I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing, like go look after yourself, hun, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I should end this by like figuring out when should you go see somebody. I don't know if I have specific advice for that because it's really person dependent and it really depends if you have any medical conditions. I feel like if it were me, and this is obviously just like me advice, right? If it were me, I mean, I have a very high threshold for seeking help. So I'm quite, because I know how to medically manage myself at home. Whenever I go and see somebody, it's because I need something, or I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm too sick now. So, I need antibiotics, or I need help. I always need help, but I need help more, because I can't give myself antibiotics. Despite popular opinion that doctors can prescribe themselves medications, it's very, very not allowed. It's not frowned upon. It's literally not allowed. I'm pretty sure it's illegal. I don't know if it's illegal, but it's not allowed. So look at me being such a good role model. Anyway, the caterpillar is going to go and watch next now. Netflix and chill and drink. Oh, and eat, because the caterpillar's really hungry. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for listening. I'm actually going away to London soon. Not tomorrow, the day after. So I'm going to have to record another episode in advance. Whoa. Whoa. This bitch cray, okay? This bitch seriously cray. And hopefully I'll be a little bit less sick. I might do it tomorrow. Anyway, no one cares. Let me know what you think about the live podcast sitch and I'll consider it. Love ya. Bye.